How much do you know about the details and Easter eggs in Squid Game? 1. Season 2, Ending Easter Egg. After the Season 2, Episode 7 finale, there's a special scene in which the players look up at the familiar Young-hee doll. Then, Young-hee's boyfriend, Chul-soo, shows up, and there are traffic lights and intersections around. In Season 2, there's a mother and son pair and a couple, so it seems that in the 4th round of the Squid Game, players might be paired up and have to fight against each other. 2. Identity hints of the number one boss. There's a guy named Oh Young-il in the show. There are many flaws in his identity. During the red light green light game in the first level, Oh Young-il was watching everyone in the control room, but no one was wearing the number one tracksuit then. He first appeared when the voting after the game took place. Maybe he saw Gi-hun wanting to be a hero and lead everyone to get the bonus, just like the old man in Season 1, and wanted to participate in the game himself to push the game process. Under Gi-hun's persuasion, half of the people wanted to end the game, but Oh Young-il cast the key vote, and the game continued. When Gi-hun and the others were choosing the challenge items in the second level of the Squid Game, Oh Young-il called out Gi-hun's name directly.
기훈 씨가 정해주는 걸로 할게요.
Gi-hun never told anyone his name. Isn't that super strange? It means he knew Gi-hun long ago. Fortunately, Oh Young-il reacted quickly and explained that he just followed the way Jung-bai called Gi-hun. If Gi-hun had been more careful at that time, maybe there wouldn't have been so many casualties later. Also, in the third level, when the number was 4 and Gi-hun's team had 5 people, Oh Young-il asked them to go first, and he would find someone else. After Gi-hun and the others found the room, they were worried about him and opened the door to check, but they didn't see him in the hall. After the game, Oh Young-il came over with a smile and said that he was popular and good at finding companions. Actually, he could have hidden in a corner or lounge and come out when everyone gathered. In Squid Game Season 1, the police Jun-ho saw the previous winning list in the commander's file room. Oh Young-il was the 132nd in the 28th session in 2015, and his real name is Hwang In-ho. He had already won the game. After Hwang In-ho disappeared, Jun-ho went to his room and saw a box on the table, which was exactly the same as the coffin in the game. When he opened the box, there were the game's business cards in it. Gi-hun and the others' business cards were directly given by the recruiter, but Hwang In-ho had a special box for the name cards. This implies that his identity in the game is not simple. The old man in Season 1 really made friends with Gi-hun and enjoyed the game, but Hwang In-ho in Season 2 is different. He always looks at Gi-hun from a god's perspective and wants to play with him. When voting at the end of the first level, Gi-hun tried hard to persuade everyone to stop the game, but Hwang In-ho voted in favor and deliberately let the game continue. Player 1 Hwang In-ho is actually the mastermind of the latest Squid Game. Once, Gi-hun told everyone that the second game was Dalgona candy, saying that the triangle was the easiest while the umbrella shape was the hardest. Hwang In-ho knew very well that Gi-hun had chosen the umbrella shape, but he deliberately said,
와, 못 모르고 우산 뽑은 놈들은 완전 골로 갔겠네요.
This was clearly a provocation aimed at Gi-hun. In the final episode in particular, Hwang In-ho put on his original clothes, walked down the stairs, looked down at Gi-hun condescendingly, and asked him whether it was fun playing the hero. Then he took a shot at Jung-bai, ending his life. Gi-hun was pinned to the ground by the red-clothed men, wailing in agony, but Hwang In-ho just turned around and left without a moment's hesitation. It was as if he was sending a message to Gi-hun: "You're still too naive to fight against me." 3. The meanings of the shapes. All over Squid Game, circles, squares, and triangles are everywhere. These shapes come from a painting by Japanese painter Sengai Gibbon. If you observe carefully, you will find that these 3 shapes have a hierarchy in the play. The circle represents the lowest level laborers. They are responsible for logistics, such as stirring sugar, distributing meals, and carrying corpses. The triangle represents the soldiers. They are especially responsible for killing the eliminated people, maintaining order, and ensuring the smooth progress of the game. The square is powerful and represents the managers. They are responsible for controlling all the monitors and announcing the rules of the game and giving tasks to the players each time. 4. The Red Sniper. There's a red-clothed sniper named Kang No-eul in Squid Game. She asked a black intermediary to help her find the person she was looking for. From the black intermediary, we know that No-eul is a stowaway to South Korea and she has a child. Moreover, she shot her superior during the stowaway process. Surprisingly, this story is exactly the same as the experience of the thief Kang Se-byok in Season 1. So, there must be some connection between them. What's more interesting is this. When No-eul came to the black intermediary, she met Gi-hun on the stairs, and Gi-hun gave the address of Kang Se-byok's brother to the black intermediary. Everyone knows that each shot of the director has meaning. Maybe in the later plot, the black intermediary will help connect them. 5. The ways characters met their end. In the 2 seasons of Squid Game, the way each character met their end was related to their previous experiences. Take Sami numbered 380 in Season 2, for example. She took good care of number 125 Minsu beside her during the game. Once, Minsu asked her why she brought him along to play. She said she felt that he wouldn't betray her. But in the 3rd round of the game, when 3 people were needed to go to a room, Thanos proposed playing rock, paper, scissors. Sami opened her hand, and Minsu took the chance to show scissors and went to the safe room. Fortunately, Sami teamed up with others. However, on the night of the dormitory infighting, Minsu clearly saw someone attacking her, but cowardly hid in bed and did nothing, just watching her die. If he had bravely stepped in at that time, Sami might have survived. In the latest Squid Game, number 230 Thanos with purple hair believed the words of the 333rd numbered YouTuber and bought the virtual currency recommended by him. As a result, he owed hundreds of millions, so he kept bullying the YouTuber, and eventually, he met his end because of his feud with him. In Season 1, Ali went to the heartless boss to demand the overdue wages. When he saw the boss's hand stuck in the machine roller, he left the boss behind and took the money on the ground and left. Then, in the 4th round, when playing marbles, he was also abandoned by Sang-woo. He could only watch as Sang-woo took away all the marbles. After Kang Se-byuk came back, she threatened the black intermediary with a dagger at his throat, forcefully telling him to take the money and do as she asked, or else. But in the end, she was also wounded in the throat by Sang-woo and lost her life. In Season 1 of Squid Game, Sang-woo, due to huge debts, had attempted to take his own life in the bathroom before, but was interrupted. During the game, in the final round when he was in a duel with Gi-hun, he ended his own life as well. The tattooed guy was betrayed by his underling. After wounding the underling, he leaped off the bridge in a desperate bid to escape. Later, in the 5th round on the high-altitude glass bridge, he was hugged by Minyo, and they both plummeted off the bridge together. Minyo's fate was the most heart-rending. When she was driving with the tattooed guy, she said,
나 배신하면 죽일 거야.
Eventually, the tattooed guy really betrayed her, and she jumped off the bridge with him. The old man wearing the number 1 jersey had a brain tumor. He wanted to play the game before his death. In the end, he made a bet with Gi-hun to see if anyone would help the homeless man before 12 o'clock. Gi-hun won the bet. As the mastermind of the game at that time, the old man also met his end because of the game. 6. The coincidence of the number 456. The number 456 was really significant for Gi-hun. In the first episode of Season 1, Gi-hun won at horse racing for once, and the bonus was 4.56 million won. Moreover, there were 456 players in the game, and he happened to be the 456th. Each person corresponded to 100 million won in bonus, so the total game bonus was 45.6 billion won. In the end, Gi-hun won the entire bonus, and his bank card password was 0456. In Season 2, Gi-hun was still numbered 456. I wonder if this number could bring him good luck again this time. 7. Gi-hun's oath. In Season 1, the game was suspended once, and the players were sent back. Gi-hun and Kang Se-byuk were paired up. In order to persuade her to untie his bonds, Gi-hun swore by his mother that he would never ask her for money. But as soon as Kang Se-byuk took off the rope on his hands, Gi-hun went back on his word and quarreled with her to ask for the money back. As a result, after going home, his mother was hospitalized. Even after the game ended and Gi-hun returned home, he only saw his mother's dead body. It seems that one really shouldn't swear casually. 8. The foreshadowing of the old man's identity. Those who have watched Season 1 of Squid Game know that the old man numbered 1 was the mastermind behind the scenes. In fact, there were already hints about his identity. During the first game of Red Light, Green Light, when the players saw that those detected would be killed, they were all too scared to move. Only the old man, Oh Il-nam, walked forward with a smile, which showed that he had known the content of the game long ago and wasn't afraid at all. Also, in the high-altitude tug-of-war round, Oh Il-nam teamed up with Gi-hun, and they drew the team of tough guys. Everyone thought that they would surely lose just by relying on strength, but only Oh Il-nam knew the skills of tug-of-war. Under his arrangement, they got off to a good start. This also proved that he had known the game content long before. Before the marble game in Squid Game, everyone was choosing teammates. Only Oh Il-nam was left unchosen. It was kind-hearted Gi-hun who teamed up with him. This led to Minyo being left alone in the end. Strangely enough, considering the cruelty of the game, those who were not chosen should usually be eliminated automatically, but Minyo was automatically promoted. It was very likely that it was designed by the people under Oh Il-nam. When the game reached this point, there were only 101 people left. Oh Il-nam was at the most disadvantageous position. As long as no one chose him, he could win without doing anything. Unexpectedly, Gi-hun chose him, and Oh Il-nam then played marbles with Gi-hun, taking advantage of the situation. When he met his end, there was no frontal shot, which also hinted that he was still alive. In Season 1 of Squid Game, during the dormitory chaos at night, while others were busy fighting, only Oh Il-nam cleverly climbed to the top floor and shouted. The masked commander saw this and then announced the end of the game and ordered his men to forcibly intervene in the dormitory, which stopped the chaos. The most obvious clue about Oh Il-nam was that when Jun-ho lurked on the island, he once came to the commander's file room. When he looked through the files, he found that in other sessions, the numbers started from 1. But in the session they were participating in, when he opened the first file, he found it was numbered 2. This showed that Oh Il-nam numbered 1 had a special background. 9. The hints of the game content. In fact, on the walls of the dormitory, there had already been hints about what games were in Squid Game. As the number of people decreased and many beds were removed, these pictures emerged. At that time, the doctor was even willing to become part of the crime just to know the game content in advance. If the players could have carefully observed their surroundings instead of fighting among themselves, maybe there would have been a different outcome. 10. The colors of the paper. Now, here's a bold guess for you all. In Squid Game, the paper had 2 colors, red and blue. Gi-hun chose blue, and so did Sang-woo. Others also chose blue. Even the players in the final episode chose blue. If they had chosen red, would they not have become the game staff? 11. The foreshadowing of Season 2. In Squid Game, in the end, Gi-hun wanted to take a plane to the United States to see his daughter. He took Flight 202, and the boarding gate was Gate 22. There were hints everywhere that there would be a Season 2. Also, Jun-ho escaped to the island. When his brother shot, he didn't hit Jun-ho's vital parts, which also indicated that Jun-ho could still survive. Since he was alive, he would surely continue to track down the real culprit behind the game. So there must be a Season 2. 12. The metaphors of number 6 and number 8. When Gi-hun was betting on horse racing, horse number 6 overtook horse number 8 at the last moment and became the first. In the game, Gi-hun's number ended with 6, and Sang-woo's number ended with 8. In the final round of the game, Gi-hun won against Sang-woo and became the final winner. Isn't it a coincidence? Was it deliberately arranged by the director? These are some of the Easter eggs and details in Season 1 and Season 2 of Squid Game. If you know others, come and discuss them in the comment section.